The marriage of 90-day fiancé actresses Sophie Sierra and Pedro Jimeno was impeded by ex-husband Rob Warren. Sophie Sierra, a recognizable figure from the reality series 90-Day Fiancé, and Pedro Jimeno, known for the family Chantel, have lately declared their intention to marry. This news has ignited a new controversy. Sophie's former spouse, Rob Warren, has explicitly contested the marriage. He asserts, "Sophie is not yet legally divorced from me. How can she wed another individual if she is not divorced?" Rob's remarks have introduced fresh complexities into Sophie and Pedro's relationship. Fans are currently anticipating the resolution of this debate and whether the romance between Sophie and Pedro will culminate in marriage. The California sun shone brilliantly as Sophie Sierra adjusted her sunglasses and exited the courthouse. Her hands quivered slightly, not due to anxiety, but from exasperation. Pedro Jimeno trailed behind her, his brow knitted and jaw tightened. They had recently submitted the documentation to acquire their marriage license, poised to embark on a new chapter together following months of public conjecture, private uncertainties, and love peaks. However, they had not anticipated the tempest awaiting outdoors. At the courthouse entryway stood Rob Warren, Sophie's former spouse, arms crossed, lips pursed, accompanied by a lawyer and a TMZ reporter. "You are prohibited from marrying him," Rob vociferated sufficiently for the burgeoning assembly of paparazzi to perceive. "She remains my legally recognized spouse." Gasps permeated the gathering. Camera shutters clicked. Sophie became immobile. Sophie wed Rob after her initial appearance on 90-Day Fiancé. Their relationship was tumultuous. Rob exhibited possessiveness, emotional unavailability, and an unwillingness to completely accept Sophie's independence. They separated discreetly. Nonetheless, Rob delayed signing the official divorce documents, perpetually offering excuses or evading court appearances. Sophie, disenchanted yet resolute in her desire to progress, concentrated on reconstructing her life. At that moment, Pedro re-entered her life. They encountered each other briefly during a tell-all recording for TLC. At that moment, Pedro had recently separated from Chantel and was seeking tranquility. Sophie and Pedro initiated online communication, transitioning from late-night calls to daily FaceTime conversations. Ultimately, he traveled to Los Angeles, and chemistry ensued instantaneously. Their chemistry was irrefutable. He comprehended her renown. She comprehended his trauma. Both were fatigued by chaotic relationships and detrimental narratives. They sought authenticity. Rob's tantrum disrupted Sophie and Pedro's preparations. "I have already submitted the divorce petition," Sophie exclaimed. "You are the individual who consistently postpones the court hearings." Pedro positioned himself in front of her. "Sufficient, Rob. This is not a matter of affection. Your sole desire is to exert control over her." Rob's demeanor became frigid. "Should you wed her prior to its legalization, I will initiate legal action against both of you for bigamy." TLC remained silent, although fans inundated forums and Reddit threads, scrutinizing court records, timelines, and Sophie's Instagram remarks for insights. Sophie's attorney sent a statement affirming that the divorce is in progress, while recognizing delays due to administrative impediments. Rob had filed a move to suspend the finalization, alleging unresolved property disputes. Pedro, in the interim, participated in an Instagram Live, exhibiting clear frustration. "We are not hastening to enter into matrimony. Our sole desire is tranquility. Sophie merits resolution and a new beginning." 1 week later, an enigmatic letter came at the flat shared by Pedro and Sophie. The document contained a private investigator's findings revealing that Rob had clandestinely cohabited with another woman for more than a year, ironically, a former cast member of 90-Day Fiancé. Sophie's legal team presented evidence to refute Rob's assertions in court, contending that his conduct rendered the move to freeze the divorce illegal. The magistrate concurred. The final divorce decree was issued within 48 hours. 1 month later, Sophie and Pedro were married at a picturesque winery in Napa Valley. The guest list was exclusive, comprising only family, intimate friends, and a select few producers from TLC. As Sophie traversed the aisle, Pedro murmured, "No more drama. Only we." She exhibited a smile. At last. In the venue shadows, distant from the jubilant pair, Rob remained in his car, perusing social media. He had permanently lost her. The world had progressed. This season's reunion stage of 90 Day Fiancé was very tense. After weeks of anticipation, fans were finally presented with answers as Rob Warren was prepared to speak this evening. Positioned opposite host Sean Robinson, with Sophie Sierra noticeably anxious in her seat, Rob adjusted his microphone and cleared his throat. "I understand that everyone is eager to hear my perspective on the infidelity allegations," Rob commenced, gazing directly into the camera. "Here it is. I acknowledge my mistake. However, it was not as you all presume." Gasps resonated across the audience. Sophie narrowed her gaze. She had anticipated this moment for months, not solely for the fans to learn the truth, but for Rob to cease his evasive justifications and ultimately acknowledge his actions. "I commenced a conversation with an individual online," Rob added. "It was not corporeal. It never progressed to that extent. However, it was poignant. That is my responsibility." Sophie spoke, her voice trembling. "You assured me it was merely flirting. Is it now emotional? Are you listening to yourself?" Rob appeared distressed. "I am aware, Sophie. I deceived you. I deceived you out of fear of abandonment. I was in a state of despondency. Upon cohabiting and the cessation of filming, I began to have a sense of disorientation. I felt unable to discuss everything with you. Rather than seeking your presence, I resorted to a screen." The audience remained silent. Sean inquired earnestly, "Rob, are you implying that you engaged in emotional infidelity with Sophie?" "Affirmative," he stated succinctly. "I lamented daily." The program also broadcast previously undisclosed direct conversations retrieved from Rob's phone, communications with a lady he encountered via Instagram, replete with flirtatious exchanges, late-night heart emoticons, and personal anecdotes unknown to Sophie. Sophie appeared to be suppressing tears. "You disclosed information to her that you never shared with me. You made a jest regarding my accent. You expressed dissatisfaction with my perceived overdramatization. You informed her that she instilled a sense of freedom in you. Are you available, Rob?" "Free from what? From myself?" Rob remained mute. The remorse evident in his countenance conveyed more than verbal expression. Sean posed the pertinent inquiry. "Why did you not simply terminate your relationship with Sophie if you were dissatisfied?" "I did not wish to lose her," Rob stated, his voice trembling. "I was naive to believe I could evade my emotions by constructing a fabricated persona online. However, that does not reflect reality. This is..." Sophie reclined, her arms crossed. "You did not merely betray me, Rob. You humiliated me before the entire world." "I am aware," Rob responded. "I do not anticipate absolution. I wish to inform others that I have commenced therapy. I have severed communication with that individual. I am not proud of my former self. However, I am making an effort." The reunion concluded without any assurances of reconciliation. Sophie refrained from embracing him. She refrained from weeping on his shoulder. She stated, "I hope you develop for your forthcoming romance, as you have previously consumed this one." Upon the conclusion of the credits, fans inundated social media with comments, hypotheses, and vigorous discussions. Several individuals advocated for Rob's integrity. Others supported Sophie, commending her resilience. However, one fact was unequivocal: Rob Warren's admission had altered everything. For Sophie Sierra, the process of healing had only commenced. Nonetheless, it was the inaugural day of filming for the new season of 90 Day Fiancé. Among the new participants was Rob Warren, a tall, well-groomed, and self-assured individual from Los Angeles who swiftly captured the viewer's interest. Rob, characterized by his pronounced jawline and meticulously combed hair, identified as a visual person, and from the inaugural episode, it was evident that he prioritized appearances significantly. Aesthetics are not paramount, yet they serve as the initial foundation, Rob articulated in his inaugural confessional. "If I lack attraction towards you, we will not progress to the emotional aspect. His fiancée, Sophie Sierra, a British influencer possessing a gentle voice and model-like features, encountered Rob online via Instagram. Their friendship rapidly developed, founded on flirtatious messaging, intimate video chats, and carefully selected selfies. Sophie, possessing a sophisticated fashion sense and radiant complexion, first appeared to align with Rob's aesthetic criteria. Upon Sophie's arrival in the U.S. on the K-1 visa, she experienced a blend of excitement and apprehension. "I feel compelled to maintain perfection for Rob," she confessed. "Here are marks on my attire, cosmetics, and even my weight. I desire for him to love me for my true self." However, it soon became evident that flaws were emerging. During their inaugural date night in Los Angeles, Sophie donned a minimalist black dress and opted for understated makeup. Rob scowled. "It is charming," he remarked, attempting to conceal his discontent. "However, you appeared significantly more refined in your Instagram stories." Merely stating that singular remark precipitated weeks of stress. Sophie began to experience pressure to uphold a consistent standard of attractiveness. She arose an hour early each day to style her hair and apply makeup before Rob awakened. She refrained from donning sweatpants. She ceased carbohydrate consumption. In a notably poignant moment, Sophie succumbed to tears during an interview with the producers. "I feel as though I am residing in a photographic session. I am prohibited from exhibiting human characteristics. I am unable to relax, acquire weight, or experience acne." He became enamored with a curated representation of me. Concurrently, Rob justified his actions. "I am not superficial," he asserted. "I believe physical attraction is significant. I diligently train my physique, attending the gym 5 days weekly. Why should I not anticipate the same for my partner?" The drama escalated when Sophie discovered Rob clandestinely texting another woman on Instagram, a fitness model from Miami. The communications were suggestive, and Rob had transmitted shirtless selfies to her. When challenged, Rob responded indifferently, "I simply prefer to maintain my options."
What is the issue with that?
Sophie was devastated. In an emotional confession, she stated, "I abandoned everything in the UK for him. I have come to the realization that he did not love me. He cherished the concept of me." The audience erupted with viewpoints. Social media was polarized. Some referred to Rob as a narcissist. Some contended that attraction is fundamental to relationships and that Sophie had deceived him using filters. However, the majority concurred something was profoundly amiss. In the season finale, Sophie gathered her belongings and departed from Rob's apartment. The concluding scene saw her traversing Sunset Boulevard, her makeup streaked by tears, yet her head held high. "I may not be flawless," she stated, "but I merit someone who loves me, not merely my appearance." In his vacant apartment, Rob perused Instagram, halting at a selfie of an unfamiliar woman. He selected like and commenced composing a message. Thus, the cycle commenced anew. "Greetings, esteemed viewers. Welcome to my channel. I am Amelia. I hope your day is going well. If you like the video, please remember to subscribe to the channel.